So I found this report, and it's from the U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command Office, and it's an analysis and assessment of the gateway process. The report was given on June 9th, 1983, and was written by Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell. It was provided to the commander of the U.S. Army Operational Group at Fort Meade, Maryland. Lieutenant Colonel McDonnell attended a gateway training at the Monroe Institute of Applied Sciences. Lieutenant Colonel McDonnell starts his report by saying that it was an extremely involved and difficult business because he had to delve very deep into other modalities that explain the change of consciousness, such as biomedical models, quantum mechanics, and theoretical physics. He goes on to say in the introduction to his paper that parts of this paper will require not only logic, but a touch of right brain intuitive insight to achieve a complete, comfortable grasp of the concepts involved. He starts his analysis by showing the reader the functions of other related models to the gateway experience, such as hypnosis, transcendental meditation, and biofeedback. The gateway experience, according to McDonnell's report, is a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right hemispheres, so as to alter consciousness, moving it outside the physical sphere so as to ultimately escape the restrictions of time and space. The participant then gains access to the various levels of intuitive knowledge which the universe offers. So this is different from meditation because it uses the Hemi-sync technique, which is defined as a state of consciousness defined when the EEG patterns of both brain hemispheres are simultaneously equal in amplitude and frequency. So the audio techniques that were patented by Robert Monroe can induce and sustain that Hemi-sync consciousness with the Monroe Institute's basic Focus 3 tapes. A Dr. Stuart Temlow, who is a psychiatrist, says that once someone goes beyond Focus 3, there is a gradual increase in brainwave size, which is a measure of brain energy or power. To synchronize the brain's hemispheres, the Hemi-sync technique uses the phenomenon of the frequency following response of our brains. So if someone hears a frequency which is close to a frequency that the brain already uses in its operation, the brain will then try to adjust its brainwave output so it can copy the same frequency pattern it's hearing. But these brainwave frequencies are outside the sound spectrum our ears can hear. So the Hemi-sync has to produce them by relying on another brain phenomenon, which is the brain's capacity for interpreting or coming up with beat frequencies. So, for example, if the brain gets one frequency in the left ear, which is 10 hertz below another audible frequency that is being played in the right ear, instead of just hearing either one of the two frequencies, our brains decide to hear the difference between the two, which is the beat frequency. So by utilizing all of these different brain phenomenons, the gateway system is able to relax the left hemisphere of the brain. And the left hemisphere is the hemisphere that controls how we process information we receive from the right hemisphere. And the right hemisphere is more of the intuitive or unconscious side of the brain. The gateway program also places the person's body into a very relaxed, essentially a sleeping state, and then it synchronizes the two brain hemispheres that helps the brain produce brain waves that have higher amplitude and frequency, like Dr. Temlow said. When doing the gateway program, you will also hear suggestions that are audible from Robert Monroe that accompany the sound and frequencies on the tapes. The tapes have different focus levels, that's what they call them, that you attain over time that will help you access new information or experiences that are not present in our waking consciousness state. The focus level numbers are just a way the program identifies and separates different levels in different states of consciousness other than our standard waking consciousness. And they use numbers so there's no emotional value attached to the name of the focus level. The gateway tapes are progressive. So you do the exercises on a particular focus level a couple of times, or as many times as needed, until you feel you've reached the focus level or consciousness level state that the tapes are helping you to induce. And you can get a sense of what that consciousness level is described as feeling like by the descriptions in the tapes themselves. The tapes kind of describe it as they go along, what you can be feeling, and as well as reading the booklets that come with the physical tapes or CDs. So after you feel like you've attained the consciousness state for that particular focus level you're on, then you can move on to the next level on the next tape or that tape. I've read that it can take people a good amount of time to be fully in and feel focus level 10. Focus 10 is the next focus level after the basic Hemi-sync state that is provided by focus level 3. I think I read that it can take 15 to 20 times in focus 10 to get comfortable in that level. So there's no need to rush the process or feel like it's a competition because so-and-so on the internet said that they only had to do focus 10 twice and then they moved on to the next level really fast. Everyone should go at their own pace because the point of these exercises is for a person's internal growth and development. And really knowing by feeling, you have to feel it. The state of focus 10 is the foundation for the rest of the focus levels in the gateway experience. So that's probably a level you don't want to rush through. So this was just a general overview of the gateway experience and what it seeks to help people achieve through the audio technology. I'm going to go further into the findings of Lieutenant Colonel McDonnell in future videos. You can also find the report that I found and that I reference on the CIA.gov website. It was approved for public release in response to a Freedom of Information Act request in 2003. Also, give me a follow if you're interested in learning more about the gateway experience and other consciousness-related topics. Thank you.